We will now call to order the Township of Piscataway Council meeting of February 11th, 2025. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required under Chapter 231 PL 1975, specifying the time, date, location, login, and dial information, and to the extent known, the agenda by posting a copy of the notice on the municipal building, municipal court, and the two municipal library bulletin boards, municipal website, providing a copy to the official newspapers of the township, and by filing a copy in the office of the township clerk in accordance with a certification by the clerk, which will be entered in the minutes. There will be a public comment period for both remote and in-person attendees separately. Each member of the public shall only have one opportunity to speak during each public portion. As the technology does not allow us to know if there are multiple callers on an individual phone line or logged in a user account, we ask that if you wish to speak, that you log in or dial in separately so that way we recognize you as a separate individual. Should you have any further comments or questions, the Township Council is always available by email and phone, and you can always call the mayor's office during normal operating hours. Ms. Cedar, can I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Cahill?
Here.
Councilmember Carmichael?
Here.
Councilmember Leibowitz?
Here.
Councilmember Lombardi?
Here.
Councilmember Rashid?
Here.
Councilmember Urin?
Here.
Council President Espinosa?
Here. Please join me in saluting the flag. Thank you. Are there any comments from the administration and council regarding adjournment of any matters of this agenda?
None, thank you.
Okay, I see none. The following is open to the public. Comments regarding item number 10, consent agenda items. If you for remote attendees, if you wish to speak at this time, please raise your hand either on Zoom app or by phone by pressing *9. When it's your turn to speak, you will receive or hear a request to unmute yourself. Please click the prompt or press *9 on your phone to unmute yourself. At that time, please state your name and address and know that you have 3 minutes in which to make your comments. The council administration will respond if necessary after you have completed any comments or questions. Ms. Cedar.
Council President, there are no remote attendees with their hand raised regarding this agenda item.
Thank you, Mr. Cedar. Close to the remote portion. Open to the in-person attendees. If you wish to speak at this time, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and know that you have 3 minutes in which to make your comments. You may take a seat after completion of your comments or questions, and the council or administration will then respond if necessary. Please state your name and address, please.
Pratik Patel, 29 Redbud Road. I just have a question on M. What is that we are procuring? And also the need for emergency temporary budget. Like what caused this emergency? And then obviously a few comments after that.
This is for the IT.
Yeah, so M is we're continuing the contract with United Atlantic IT for a little bit longer. We've identified a IT director, but he is not starting until early March. So they're continuing to help us. And emergency budget, that's the state required. Since we don't have a budget yet, we're planning on introducing the budget on March 4th. So this will get us until the time that the budget is adopted in April.
So we don't have budget because the state is fumbling, or it's because we are fumbling?
We're not allowed to introduce a budget until after the governor's budget message, which is traditionally at the end of February each year.
Okay, and this IT director, is that the same as IT manager rec that was posted on the website, or it's a different role?
Yeah, same thing.
It's the same thing?
Yep.
For the role? Okay, I'll come back and come. Is there a difference between the director or manager? Like, title means something?
No, we filled the job that we advertised.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, this is the public portion. Or- Ordinance second reading, amending Chapter 7, Traffic Section 8, open to the public, resolution adopting ordinance. Ms. Cedar?
Be it resolved by the Township Council of Piscataway Township, New Jersey, that an ordinance entitled Ordinance to Amend and Supplement the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Piscataway, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 7, Traffic, Section 8, was introduced on the 23rd day of January 2025 and had passed the first reading and was published on the 30th day of January 2025. Now therefore be it resolved that the aforesaid ordinance, having had a second reading on February 11th, 2025, be adopted, passed, and after passage be published together with a notice of the date of passage or approval in the official newspaper. Be it further resolved that this ordinance shall be assigned number 2025-02.
Thank you, Ms. Cedar. We're going to open this to the public. For remote attendees, if you wish to speak at this time, please raise your hand either on Zoom app or by phone by pressing *9. When it's your turn to speak, you will receive or hear a request to unmute yourself. Please click the prompt or press *6 on your phone to unmute yourself. At that time, please state your name and address and know that you have 3 minutes in which to make your comments. The council or administration will respond if necessary after you have completed any comments or questions. Mr. Cedar?
Council President, there are no remote attendees with their hand raised regarding this agenda item.
Thank you. Close to the remote attendees. Opening for the in-person attendees. If you wish to speak at this time, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and know that you have 3 minutes in which to make your comments. You may take a seat after completion of your comments or questions, and the council or administration will then respond if necessary. I see no one. Closing to the in-person attendee. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion, Councilwoman Lombardi.
Can I have a second, please?
Councilman Aaron, second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Cahill,
Yes.
Councilmember Carmichael,
Yes.
Councilmember Leibowitz,
Yes.
Councilmember Lombardi,
Yes.
Councilmember Rashid,
Yes.
Councilmember Aaron,
Yes.
Council President Espinosa.
Yes. Ordinance passes. Next, ordinance first reading, Patton Avenue Phase 2 Road Improvement Acquisitions Resolution adopting ordinance. Ms. Cedar?
Be it resolved by the Township Council of Piscataway Township, New Jersey, that an ordinance entitled Ordinance for the Acquisition of Rights of Way, Easements, and Land in Fee Simple for the Improvement of Patton Avenue Phase 2 in the Township of Piscataway, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, be and is hereby adopted on the first reading, that it be published in the official newspaper, and that a second reading and public hearing be held at 7 p.m. prevailing time at the Piscataway Municipal Building, 455 Hose Lane, Piscataway, New Jersey, on the 4th day of March 2025. Be it further resolved that a copy of this ordinance shall be posted in at least 2 public places within the township prior to the day of the second reading and final passage, and a copy of this ordinance shall be made available at the office of the township clerk for any interested member of the public.
Thank you, Ms. Cedar. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion, Councilwoman Cahill.
Second, Carmichael.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilmember Cahill,
Yes.
Councilmember Carmichael,
Yes.
Councilmember Leibowitz,
Yes.
Councilmember Lombardi,
Yes.
Councilmember Rashid,
Yes.
Councilmember Aaron,
Yes.
Council President Espinosa.
Yes. Next, ordinance first reading, amending the supplementing Chapter 7, Traffic Section 15, Resolution adopting ordinance. Ms. Cedar?
Be it resolved by the Township Council of Piscataway Township, New Jersey, that an ordinance entitled Ordinance to Amend and Supplement the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Piscataway, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 7, Traffic, Section 15, Parking Prohibited During Certain Hours on Certain Streets, be and is hereby adopted on the first reading, that it be published in the official newspaper, and that a second reading and public hearing be held at 7 p.m. prevailing time at the Piscataway Municipal Building, 455 Hose Lane, Piscataway, New Jersey, on the 4th day of March 2025. Be it further resolved that a copy of this ordinance shall be posted in at least 2 public places within the township prior to the day of the second reading and final passage, and a copy of this ordinance shall be made available at the office of the township clerk for any interested member of the public.
Thank you, Ms. Cedar. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion, Councilman Aaron.
Second, Councilwoman Cahill.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilmember Cahill,
Yes.
Councilmember Carmichael,
Yes.
Councilmember Leibowitz,
Yes.
Councilmember Lombardi,
Yes.
Councilmember Rashid,
Yes.
Councilmember Urin,
Yes.
Council President Espinosa.
Yes. Okay, consent agenda. For efficiency, items have been consolidated into a consent agenda to be voted on together. The materials of these items have been distributed to the council in advance of the meeting. At this time, are there any items that the council would like removed from the consent agenda to be discussed or voted on separately?
None, Council President.
Thank you. Can I have a motion, please?
Councilwoman Lombardi.
Ask for a second.
Second, Carmichael.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Cahill,
Yes.
Councilmember Carmichael,
Yes.
Councilmember Leibowitz,
Yes.
Councilmember Lombardi,
Yes.
Councilmember Rashid,
Yes.
Councilmember Urin,
Yes.
Council President Espinosa.
Yes, thank you. Announcements and comments from officials.
I'd just like to wish everybody who's celebrating Valentine's Day a very happy Valentine's Day to there. Also, too, I thought it was very interesting that we are talking about our IT and extending it because my Gmail was hacked. And I was going to tell all you folks there, if you get an email from me, do not answer it from my Gmail account. So working on that. Thank you. That's all from me.
Councilmember Sharon Carmichael.
I just echo the Happy Valentine's Day, and let's all show a little extra love on Friday to someone.
Councilmember Laura Leibowitz.
Hello. First of all, I want to thank the township staff who provided Sarah and I with an excellent tour of the municipal buildings, the salt, the asphalt, the cameras that go in our pipes, the snow plows. It was a definite Parks and Recs moment. Loved it. I have a photo of it if anybody would like to see it. And it was really great. And I have to say, you truly saw their expertise and their pride in their job. And so it was really a wonderful experience. Secondly, I'd like us to consider a resolution in light of what is happening across this country with ICE and fear of non-documented Americans, and especially with an emphasis on folks in our town and across the county. I would love us to consider some type of resolution that demonstrates our commitment to equal, respectful, and dignified treatment of all people, regardless of their immigration status. I do have a sample that I am happy to share with all of us as we move forward and try and really provide security and comfort to those who are very, very worried and nervous in our area.
Thank you, Councilmember Leibowitz. Councilmember Michelle Lombardi.
I'd like to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day also. Also this Saturday are our fire district elections, Saturday the 15th from 2 to 9 at your local fire departments to vote on your fire commissioners within each fire department. So get out and vote for your fire commissioners this Saturday.
Thank you. Councilmember Sarah Rashid.
Hello, everyone. Again,
have to echo the Public Works. A big shout out to the whole team. I know all the roads are all getting ready for tomorrow. My kids are hoping for a snow day, so don't clean the roads too much, okay? It's like, but they do an excellent job. So thanks to that. And I do hope that we can work on some resolution. It is time to uphold the Constitution, and I think we all have to work and make it work, okay? Okay.
Thank you. Councilmember Frankern?
Yeah, I just want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day, and I'm happy to report that we opened up our T-ball baseball program 4 days ago. We already have 140 signups. So if anybody's looking to coach, come and see me.
Mayor?
Yeah, actually, some good news. We got a final sign-off by the Department of Transportation. We can go out to bid for Centennial Avenue. So we're expecting to go out to bid this month. Let's sit out and hopefully award in the April 15th meeting, if the bids are okay. And then I want to thank the folks over at the Piscataway Senior Citizen Club for sponsoring a lot of the Black History Month events over at the Senior Center.
Thank you, Mayor. Business Administrator Timothy Dacey?
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Assistant Business Administrator Paula Casiali?
Nothing tonight, but thank you so much for thinking of me. Wishing everyone a safe ride home and safe during the inclement weather, which is also predicted, I believe, for the weekend as well. And a shout out again to our public works. Folks are up all through the night while we're sleeping.
Yep, definitely a shout out to them for DPW.
May
How's-
I just say the brine is working very well. Them brining the streets prior, very well.
Everyone loves that. As a matter of fact, I can say that my husband, when he doesn't see them, is like, where's the brine?
Yeah.
Where's the stripes, right?
A lot of people are asking, what are the stripes? Like, what are they? What do they do? So I try to explain to as many people that I can, but don't get it. Township Attorney Raj Kumar?
Thank you.
Okay. And I would just like to say that, it's pretty scary what's going out there, what's going on with ICE, and I know a lot of families are afraid and very, vigilant in where they're going. We're seeing, in surrounding townships, we're seeing, actions that are being taken by parents not sending their kids to school. A lot of uncertainty, even in places that I would go to that normally would be, packed, is not as packed. A lot of rumors are also going around. So I would like to see that we work with our police department, ensuring that we are on the same page with our police department in the township, and seeing what we can do to actually, make our residents feel safe, of course, and making sure that we are protecting our residents as much as we can. Thank you.
If I can just add to that, I totally echo what you're saying. Perhaps we could look at a one sheet or some type of, just fact-based information that people can be aware of what their rights are. I've seen a lot of, these things kind of out there. Might be something for us to add to the police website or to our website to provide, for our residents. Of course, vetting it and making sure it's, the best source possible.
Yeah, there are definitely laws that protect everyone. And I've seen surrounding townships, I think Elizabeth had one, Newark had one. I forgot which was the other township, and they definitely have communicated what to do and what not to do and what's their right to do. So I agree that we should definitely put something out there, informational for people to follow.
Maybe in our next yellow in our newsletter.
Thank you, that's all. Okay, agenda session for March 4th, 2025, proclamation, June Stadlowski, hopefully. Great, thanks. Ordinance second reading, Patton Avenue Road Improvement Acquisitions open to public, resolution adopting ordinance. Any questions on that one? Ordinance second reading, amending and supplementing Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 15, open to the public, resolution adopting ordinance. Any questions on that one?
I'm sorry, can I just ask a question? So that's in my neighborhood. Do we send a letter out to the residents on that street and block?
Yes, everybody gets a letter right there.
And I get that too, so I know what's happening.
So what happens is when the council does this, and I know you two are the first time here, this is either for actual, if we're straightening the roadway out, if we have to acquire property, temporary construction easements, they will get a letter, but we have to hire an appraiser for that. A lot of times these construction easements are only worth like about $200. It costs more in legal, no offense, Raj, and with the appraisers than the actual what it's worth. So the residents get that. So by doing this, we're getting close to the point now that we're doing this. So.
So, but I think Laura's just wanting to make sure she gets like copied on that since it's in her
Yeah,
area.
it'll be just a generic letter going
Right.
out.
Okay.
there.
So we can just put it in like my mailbox here?
Acquisition in any part of the town.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next resolution authorizing contract appraisals for Patton Avenue road improvement acquisitions. Any questions on that one? All right, next resolution approving amendment to redevelopment agreement 10 Normandy Drive. Any questions on that? Okay. Okay, next we're going to be opening to the public for remote attendees. If you wish to speak at this time, please raise your hand either on the Zoom app or by phone by pressing *9. When it's your turn to speak, you will receive or hear a request to unmute yourself. Please click the prompt or press *6 on your phone to unmute yourself. At that time, please state your name and address and know that you have 3 minutes in which to make your comments. The council or administration will respond if necessary after you have completed any comments or questions. Mrs. Cedar, do we have anybody in queue?
Council President, I'm asking the first individual with their hand raised to unmute themselves. Go ahead, please.
Hi, this is Jessica Cradaville at 1247 Brookside Road. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, thank you. I just wanted to chime in. I really appreciate what Councilor Leibowitz and Rashid mentioned about publishing something for our immigrant members of the community who are afraid with all of the ICE enforcement and the very negative and threatening tone of our federal government against people who are our neighbors and our friends. And I think it's very important that as a township, we show that we're not supportive of that kind of activity and that we want to protect our community. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else?
Council President, there are no other individuals with their hand raised regarding this agenda item.
Thank you. Closing to the remote attendees. Opening into the in-person attendees. If you wish to speak at this time, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and know that you have 3 minutes in which to make your comments. You may take a seat after completion of your comments or questions, and the council or administration will then respond if necessary. Please state your name and address.
Good evening. I'm Stacy Berger, 233 Ellis Parkway. Happy early Valentine's Day to you all. Couple of questions. I got, and I don't know if you can answer them or not, but I've gotten a bunch of inquiries about the sewer bill increase. Is there any explanation that anyone, I didn't hear it on the, it's kind of been all over the social media pages, and I've gotten 2 emails today about it, so.
We do an analysis. We have an outside.
This isn't counting
firm.
against my time though, right, Tim?
Well,
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, that's my only, that's the first question. It's just, that's the sewer question. So if you, I was just making a joke. Go ahead.
Go ahead and ask your second question so that way.
Well, the second question is a comment about the discussion that you all were having about the, it's not a I don't have another question. That's the only question. I was really just.
So what we do is we have an outside auditor come in and look at our expenses of what we paid and our operations costs for the sewers, and they look at the fees and they make a recommendation to change the fee. We're required to do it by the state. We're currently in litigation with Rutgers over what they believe is that we're charging them too much and we're not charging the residents. So we had to make sure everything was accurate. So we had the study done, and it was relayed to us, and it was recommended that the slight increase that went in be implemented township-wide.
So Tim, can I just ask a question, not to take away from Ms. Berger's time? So we're still in litigation then with the university?
Yes,
But the
Okay.
sewer rate went up anyway.
because
So
our
that doesn't make
costs-
sense to me, like those two things are,
Our costs are going up. We're
just asking
rebuilding
because
pump
people are asking me and I
stations.
couldn't find any public
Yeah,
information.
so our costs are going up. The costs of equipment is going up. The costs of rebuilding the pump stations are going up. We're making a lot of improvements and fixing a lot of problems in the sewers. We're trying to stay ahead of any problems like we've seen in some surrounding towns. So it's a fair number based on an audit done by an outside auditor.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion about whether it's fair or unfair. I just was asked why it went up and I didn't know. So thank you very much, Mr. Stacy. I mean, I thought that the president was going to make everything less expensive right away on day one, and that doesn't seem to have happened. Not going to happen here either on our sewer bill, I'm guessing. So I just did want to thank council members Rashid and Leibowitz and Council President Espinoza for your, sounds like what you'd be supportive of in terms of adopting some kind of resolution to make sure that our neighbors and residents of our community are not afraid and that they can actually interact with the police without having to be afraid for themselves or their families. I've seen a lot of what Council President Espinoza referred to as well, where people used to go to events and they were packed, and now those places and those those events are not. I did want to offer two ideas. One is to use either the ACLU or the Alliance for Immigrant Justice has a really great website about how folks can interact with the police and not with the police, and what municipalities can do, secondarily besides the police to protect our residents. I know that in 2017, when we came and asked for support on these issues, we talked about a municipal ID program, and there seemed like there was support for that, but then it didn't actually happen. So that's something to go back to. And then the second thing would be a Know Your Rights workshop. Other municipalities, Congressman Menendez, Congresswoman Poe, I believe, I haven't seen it on Congressman Pallone's page yet, but maybe it'll be there, have hosted events where people can come and learn about what their rights are. So that's something that, we would encourage all of you to think about hosting as a municipal event, as not as something at the library or something at the senior center or something at the community center, but something that the actual township office, the township government hosts for folks. And in addition to that, our Progressive Democratic Organization invites all of you to join us on Monday out front. We're going to use our public space to make sure that people know that Piscataway is a very blue town. We're a very democratic town. We are proud of that. We do not support what the president and his minions are trying to do, which is, as far as I can tell, an action. And I'm certainly not a legal scholar by any stretch of the imagination, but it does seem pretty obvious that they are trying to overtake the government and make it very difficult for all of you to do your jobs, because you're not going to have the resources that you would otherwise have, CDBG block grants, Meals on Wheels, all of the things that we've come to, rental assistance, Department of Education, on and on and on. And so we're going to host a rally. Rally is probably a strong term. We're going to get together and support each other and show the rest of our community that we stand up for each other and that we believe in the rule of law and not the rule of some elected person. So you're all welcome to join us. We encourage you to share that and spend a little time with us on Monday, 12 to 1. 12 to 1, Councilmember.
Thank you, Ms. Berger. I do want to make a comment just quickly is with regard to something Ms. Berger said about withholding of money. I know, Mayor, you're working with mayors across the country on how actually to address this issue in a way, because we are in fact concerned that our money will be withheld, and we have a fiduciary responsibility to make sure we get money that was promised to us, and we fight for that. So I don't know if you've had your meetings yet, but I do know that our mayor, who's part of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, there is a coalition of mayors on trying to come up with like a resolution or a plan of action for municipalities to take with regard to this and probably anything else that's going to come down the pike, right? So I do want to put that out there as well. Oh, and one other thing is that there are advocacy groups. So if for whatever we do decide upon to do as a town, there are advocacy groups that can be used as a resource for anybody in the state of New Jersey.
Thank you, Councilman Cahill. State your name and address.
29 Redbud Road. I got a lot to cover, but I'll try to do it in 3 minutes. First, good things. Ms. Lombardi, I think you're taking wonderful initiative to improve the park. What I would suggest is if there is an opportunity to create a hill, so that way when there is a snow, kids can use this as a slider. I don't know if that was part of the plan, but that would be nice. The other thing is while I'm driving over there, they have erected this big cell phone tower. So just from an aesthetic perspective, if they can create something like a tree, and I don't want that to become like a whatever, they just put all like T-Mobile towers that I've seen in many towns, or radio towers.
Those are for our new radio system. Those are for the police, the safety of the police and our emergency people. So it's not just any tower.
Okay, as long as if they can talk with the architecture and aesthetic committee, so that way, because that's the main area of the town, that would be nice. As it relates to, I think there was talk about ICE and other things. How many people do we have in a town of 50,000 that we call it illegals and whatnot? Do we have a count from the government? How many?
Sorry,
Or-
you mean undocumented?
Undocumented.
Thank you.
When you say undocumented, like what's the difference? They don't have green card, they don't have passports, or they just drop in or pop in? What does that mean? I don't know. Like what does that mean? Then I have the hard ones, but let's try the easy ones. Okay, so all right, so let me just go one. So that was the one. Then I have the other things with respect to the taxes, which obviously me and Mayor, we don't look eye to eye. The housing prices in this township, whether good, bad, or indifferent, it's crossing 500K. The interest rate is 7%. The taxes are between 7 to 12,000. With that said, and I know many people in government and all that like to talk about minimum wage. I would like to remove that conversation completely and start having narratives about family wage. Because what it takes to live a good standard of living when somebody's putting 8 hours of their work effort, when they get out of the bed to do something good for themselves and for their family and for somebody out there. So when people talk about 15 minimum wage or something like that, I think that whole wage system needs to be looked at in 2025 with the advancement in technology, productivity, and the machines that we have today. I think that minimum wage was built when we were building Hoover dams, when we were building cars, when we were building manufacturing machines. That's not the case today. So I would like a complete overhaul on that. With respect to taxes, one of the things that I think Mayor kind of takes the credit that we have lowered the taxes, it's just total bullshit. The first part of it is basically what has happened is I have looked at few houses, and the higher square footage houses have gone up by $100. The lower square footage houses have gone up by $200, which is 100% increment, by the way. And the person who is sitting in the assessment department, when you question them, and I don't know, Mr. Gomer, now, do you represent the people or do you represent the private mayor? Like, are you lawyer of people or you're lawyer of mayor?
And the township.
Thank you.
Okay.
Your time is up.
So I had a few other things that I had to comment. I'll come back next time.
Mayor,
I want to let
I'm
the record reflect.
I'm sorry, Mayor. One thing. We try to make this obviously public for all ages. So I please refrain from cursing at the podium, so that way it can be friendly for everyone.
Agreed.
Thank you.
You should get his emails that he sends to town every day. The Proud Boy rhetoric that he espouses out there, I don't subscribe to. And I know there's some people out in the audience that accepted his support, and even though he's an ultra-nationalist.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Let's.
Do we have any questions to be answered here, or?
Ultra-nationalist.
No?
Passing
We're good?
passes.
Thank you.
Talking democracy.
Anyone else? Okay, closing to the public. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second, Leibowitz.
Thank you. Adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Good night.